Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a story, and this is a very interesting story, so stick around. So, there were these group of pirates out in the Mediterranean. They were called the Barbary Corsairs, and they've been operating for about 500 years now, at this point. Now, keep in mind, everyone was afraid of them. Everyone. The British, Spanish, Ottomans, all the world empires of the time were paying tribute to the Barbary Corsairs in hopes that they wouldn't pillage their shipping and kidnap their crews. Okay? So anyway, fast forward there, the Barbary Corsairs are living their best life, stealing, plundering, and looting. Well, anyway, one day they come across an American ship. Now, what is America? It's this new nation over in the New World that just separated from the British Empire. Well, unlike everyone else, when Americans were asked to pay tribute, you know what we said? We said, fuck you, and before long, we had American flags up in Tripoli. Now, compare that to America now. We're comparing Thomas Jefferson to Joe Biden. Now, we all know that Joe Biden is not fit for presidency, and he's been out of the picture for a while now, and who's running the country. And this is deeply saddening to me, unfortunately. As an American, this is sad to see such a great nation come crumbling down by the actions of fools in our government. The actions of traitors and the actions of tyrants. We need to go back to the America of Thomas Jefferson, of George Washington. Then we will finally be a free nation, as we were intended to be. Because here's the thing, we're not free right now. We are living in a totalitarian society. You think I'm kidding? Go and say you don't like black people on Twitter and see how fast you get canceled. Of course, I understand people being upset with someone saying that. However, that's just an extreme example of how saying the wrong thing that isn't, quote, politically correct will get you fined, jailed, fired, and publicly humiliated. That is not the vision of our country, of our great American nation, envisioned by our framers, by our founding fathers. The fact that they are trying to regulate the First Amendment, that they have regulated the Second Amendment, that they infringe on your Fourth and Fifth Amendment, the fact that illegal immigrants have more rights than we do. Why is it that our great cities, our great city of New York, is rotting from the inside out? It isn't the Americans who live in the city. We invited millions and millions and millions of immigrants into our country, and they don't care because they have no loyalty to this country, so they'd rather destroy it. And not only that, we got these South American countries emptying their prisons out into America. And we're letting these people in. It is so sad. It is so sad. We need to do something, and we need to do something now. We will become a strong nation again. We will become dominant again. We must restore America's honor, and we must bring it to the height. We must bring the glorious United States of America back to the height of power. And we're not going to do that by trying to trans our kids. We're not going to do that by trying to trans adults, by trying to push gay rights activism into our children's literature. We're not going to get there by putting porn in the school libraries. We're not going to get there by defunding the police. We are not going to get there by deindustrializing our economy. We need to show the world that we mean business, and so far we haven't been doing that. We're a joke to everyone. Nobody takes us seriously. We're a sad, small nation now, and we could be so much more. We are in a sad state of affairs. We are spending more money on the interest to our national debt than our military. It's such a shame, because we're gonna end up spending more and more money paying interest for debt we're never gonna be able to pay off, while we're still talking about transing our kids as the barbarians are coming into DC. Is this what we want? Do we want barbarians marching into Washington, D.C. and declaring it their own, killing American culture? No, we don't. We really, truly don't. And unfortunately, that's where we're headed right now. These vicious, evil people in our government are directly killing our country. They even say they want to kill America. They want to kill the West. They want to take away our ability to defend ourselves. Americans aren't voting for them anymore, so they're importing immigrants to vote for them, because all they have to do to keep an immigrant voting for them is continue giving them free stuff, all while our roads rot, our infrastructure rots. We have all of this liquid gold under our feet. We have every single mineral and every single resource we could ever need to become a self-sufficient, dominant powerhouse like we once were. But alas, the Leviathan has gotten too big. The longer we let it grow, the bigger it gets and the less free we get. As the bureaucracy grows, our freedoms shrink. As the Leviathan grows, our humanity diminishes. And if we keep letting this happen, we are all going to die. Whether it's from Russia thinking that we're weak, wanting to nuke us while we're weak, while we're fighting each other, or China buying up all of our land and renting it to American citizens, or Mexico and their cartels bringing hundreds of kilos of death into our country every day, all while we let our border be as porous as a sponge. And this has been intentional. This isn't even incompetence anymore. This is malice. They want to kill us. Just look at the cities. Look at San Francisco. Look at New York. Look at Chicago. There's apps out there for measuring. There are apps out there that show the location. Their sole purpose is to show the location of where there is human feces on the streets of San Francisco. Our once proud and beautiful nation has become rotten and ugly and decadent, and we keep allowing it. We, the people, keep allowing it, but we need to stand up now. How do we change things? Well, for one, we need to get the current Democratic Party out of power. The same people who have been pushing the post-World War II era, post-World War II world order, which now does not work, they need to go. And they will hold on to power viciously because they don't care. And we need to push them back just as viciously and just as ruthlessly. They will say anything and do anything to throw us and our leadership in jail. The real Americans speaking out against the atrocities. They're gonna throw us in jail for speaking out against their regime. Tell me how that's not a third world country. Tell me how we're not living in Nazi Germany right now. It is such a shame. I am truly sad. We have disconnected, detached elites who don't care. They want nothing more than to line their own pockets while we starve. They're closing down all of our grocery stores. They're closing down our gas stations. They're trying to ban our ability to travel. Oh, if you don't buy an electric car, well, you can't drive anymore because combustion engines are illegal. They're building these ugly windmills and putting billions and billions and billions of dollars into these wasteful government projects that get absolutely nowhere. They want to push this Green New Scam, and they're going to keep pushing this Green New Scam, and we're going to keep spending billions and billions and billions. We have crumbling infrastructure. We have no jobs. Where have all the jobs gone? They've gone to China. They've gone to Vietnam. They have gone to Cambodia. They have gone everywhere except America. We regulated them out of existence. Our housing? Our housing problem, the homelessness, is a huge problem. The prices on properties continue to go up, and the only reason why is because there's not enough supply. Besides the whole money printing thing, which we're not even factoring in here, we can't build anything because there are hundreds of regulations. There are more regulations than pages in the Bible. How are we supposed to get anything built? Why is it that the entire front of a New York City apartment building, the entire front wall, is falling off? It is falling off of the building. It is about to fall and hit someone in the head. And the only thing we can do is put up this ugly green scaffolding that destroys the street view of these buildings. Not to mention it is rampant with homelessness. You go anywhere near these spots, you're gonna find feces on the floor. You're gonna find feces and pee on the sidewalk. You're gonna find all kinds of garbage. It's gotten really bad. This used to be the most well-respected city in the world. Now look at it. It's a shell of its former self. Chicago, Pennsylvania, shell of them former selves. Meanwhile, our corrupt crooked comrade Kathy, our corrupt crooked comrade Kathy, is so lost in the delusion of Governor's Island that she continues to push these policies that are actively hurting us in New York. There is no reason why we're going to amend the New York Constitution to include language that more or less can be twisted to give illegal immigrants voting rights. There is no reason why she's pushed so hard against the Supreme Court to take away our Second Amendment rights, our means of defending ourselves against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. The fact that she's taking away our ability to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government regime. The fact that she's defunded our police. The fact that crime runs rampant and bail reform ensures that these criminals will always get out. I call for you, crooked comrade Kathy, to leave the Governor's Island. I call for you to resign in disgrace. And until we start standing up to these tyrants, nothing will ever get done. Nothing will ever change. We need to stand up as the American people and as New Yorkers. Enough is enough. Kathy Hochul, shame on you. Kamala Harris, shame on you. Tim Walz, shame on you. And oh, don't even get me started. Mayor Eric Adams, shame on you.